Google is not going to tell you the products that actually sold from the product that was clicked. So Google is not going to share with you what product was actually sold. What they're going to tell you is that a product sold and a conversion value was made. Something to consider when looking at the same metric that I'm going to share with you here in a moment is, are you tracking the tax and the shipping? That is also going to increase the average order value of a product that you're looking at. And sometimes we'll throw a false positive that product wasn't actually sold when it was. All right, sales to increase average order value. So average order value is something that a lot of clients have the capability to to increase the sales of those products into campaigns themselves, but while also looking at the LTV as an example at the same time. So for clients that have a different variety of products, and some clients sell products that are $10 and all the way up to $1,000. And now Google is going to try to sell whatever sells the fastest and the easiest, the quickest and the cheapest. So Google is going to try to purposely go after the fast, easy wins that it wants to go after. Well, typically what that is smaller AOV purchases. So smaller average order values, so that it's, the $10, $20, $30 items are going to sell more frequently. Well, that hurts ROAS, and that also hurts AOV. One thing that's really interesting is Google is not going to tell you the products that actually sold from the product that was clicked. And so what this means is that, I don't know where my window went. So let me get signed in here to a different ads account. It's just being really slow. Sorry, everyone. But I will pull out one campaign. There we go. Can everyone see this okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go to, let's go to, because this is the one I'm in pretty much 24/7. So Google is not going to share with you what product was actually sold. What they're going to tell you is that a product sold and a conversion value was made, but that conversion value is not of that product, perhaps. So we don't essentially know. Something to consider when looking at the same metric that I'm going to share with you here in a moment is, are you tracking the tax and the shipping? That is also going to increase the average order value of a product that you're looking at. And sometimes we'll throw a false positive that product wasn't actually sold when it was. A good rule of thumb is, if there's not a sale running, or if there's not a discount that is just added to the card to when they're ready to buy, a good rule of thumb to look at is, if a product price is much higher than the conversion value of that one sale, it's a good indication that something that was clicked on wasn't actually sold. And here's what I mean. I'm going to go into this campaign here. I'm going to look at a product. And what you want to do is isolate down to a day where it may be only one sale of one product was made. So if we look at, let's do this, actually, that's 14 days. This isn't a high spending account here. So we have a $19 product. Now this $19 product had 68 clicks and one sale. We made 19 bucks, right? Well, if we look at the conversion value, it's $76.88. Well, that's weird. That's how would one conversion on this $19 product make $76? What Google is not going to tell you is, this may not have even the product that was actually sold. So if this product here is getting $76 conversions on a $19 product, we know that it was either this product that was sold along with other products, or multiples of this product, or multiples of other products, or even 5 sales of something else. So all this is telling you is that there was a sale that made $76 that came from the click of that product. So before we can understand AOV, we have to understand what's actually producing AOV. Now, the bad part about this here in these columns is I won't be able to use custom columns, which is sometimes difficult, because what you would want to do is take the average, or you take the conversion value divided by the conversions, and you'll be able to see what the average order value is of that product that was clicked on that was end up being sold. So it's a bit of a manual process, and there's a lot of research that has to be done to identify what is the actual AOV of a product. Now, there's certain products that, just looking on the face of it, you say, well, man, I can't sell a $19 product. This is going to be terrible. I'm going to spend $122 to get a cost per conversion on a 19 product. Oh, that's going to be horrible. Now, this $19 product might deliver you $113 in sales after 2 conversions. 2 conversions times 19 is $38, not $113. So you first have to go through all of your campaigns and all of your products and identify what's actually delivering you a high average order value. Then you have to go and research through analytics. Analytics is going to tell you the clicks that came in off of a campaign and what products were sold, and also what multiples of products. There's a way that you can actually start to do research and say, hey, what we found is that the people that click on these pillowcases actually have a higher average order value than what the product is selling. A quick way to do this, can I close that out? There we go. A quick way to do this is I always like to do a value per conversion, which is essentially the average order value. So if you go into tools and settings, and then go into, or sorry, not go into tools and settings. If you go into the columns here, let me go back as I'm trying to do more instructions here. So the way, let me redo this for the video. So the way to find an average order value of a group of products is if you have them separated out by, let's just say like headbands and shower caps and pillowcases, you can go into columns and go into modify columns, go into your conversions, and you're going to see this metric here, value per conversion. This is approximately how much on average each one of your conversions is worth. Average order value, if you're tracking obviously only e-commerce for your conversions. So in the average order value here, you look at what is actually selling as a value per conversion. So pillowcases, we already kind of know, hey, these $19 pillowcases, a lot of times people have more than one pillow, so they order more than one, or they're going to buy a few different styles. They might buy 6 products, 2 of each style, because they have 2 pillows and they like to cycle them out. Let's just assume that. Well, that average order value is $84.98. That's much higher than the $39.27. Well, why is this double? Again, because we just looked at what is the actual order value of those type of products. But let's also take a look at Pro Hair, for example, $39.27. Well, if we look at those products here.
This is not a glitch. I'm interrupting the video you're watching because I need to remind you that I'm always looking for people to join our team. So if you're passionate about Google Ads and you want to work with the best Google Ads agency on the planet, please go to solate.com/apply. Speaking of working with the best Google Ads agency on the planet, if you're having trouble with Google Ads and you want professional help, that's what we do. You can go to solate.com, that's SOL8.com, to apply for your free, no obligation action plan. And if I've given you any level of value at all, maybe think about giving me a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. That's how we juice the YouTube algorithm so they actually know that I know what I'm talking about. If you have questions, comments, concerns, or confessions, hit me below in the comments. And now, back to your regularly scheduled program.
What we can identify is that if we see a conversion of a $12 product and 1 sale made $39, okay, an $8 product, 1 sale, $40. These are lower prices and the average cart value is lower when they're purchasing these products or when they're clicking on these products and purchasing. You have to understand why are they actually clicking on these products. Well, a 3-piece bun twist or maybe a ponytail clip may not deliver you a higher average order value. Yeah, it's delivering me a 1.52 and a 3.13 conversion value by cost. So the ROAS is still good. I'm still going to run these, but they're not going to be delivering me as good as an average order value as our pillowcases are. So if we go back and we look at what the daily ad spend is, the Pro Hair is spending $200 today, and the pillowcase I'm spending $750. Well, the average order value is higher, which means my ROAS is higher. This is only possible, though, if you're breaking them out or will need to plan to break them out. When you break out your products, you can adjust budgets accordingly. You can adjust for AOV. You can adjust for profit margin. You can adjust to ROAS. You can adjust to LTV if you like. Or you can even just adjust to what's working this month compared to previous month if it's a cyclical type of market. So when you're looking at the average order value, try to identify what is delivering you a higher average order value. Typically, that also will mean a higher ROAS, and you'll start to spend accordingly. Now, here's what we don't know, though, is why is pillowcase so high? Is pillowcase actually selling Pro Hair inside pillowcases? Could be. This is a much harder situation to do, takes much more time, but one quick way to not hop into analytics just yet and identify what your average carts are selling is going to tools and settings and into your conversions. This also helps if you're running Shopify as well. It's a little bit more if you're running Shopify because it's an easier way to identify the conversions. But purchase GTM here, the web pages that were tracked, I can actually start to look at, okay, well, what is actually selling in the cart? So we look at here, we say, okay, we have these purchases here, $120 purchase. What was purchased? And you can actually go to the page and identify when I have big items, what's typically involved. There's a list here of things that were sold. Shopify will do this every single time. And if you have a lot of clients that are Shopify, it's a very good way to say, hey, I've been looking through the conversions. I noticed that actually these purchases actually happen quite frequently. This I'm so sorry, everyone. Who was with me on? I got like 3 hours of sleep last night, so I was working so much. I forgot who was on the call with me yesterday. With maybe not yesterday, 2 days ago.
Probably Jasper.
That was me.
Jasper, yes, thank you. Sorry, I don't know why I had a brain fart, but Jasper, remember when I did this actually with a client this week? It was on Tuesday. I said, hey, we have one campaign that's crushing it and one campaign that has not made a sale this week. And I said, I looked into every single purchase that took place this last week and found that the other product that we're trying to market is actually selling. The other campaign is actually selling it because the other campaign has product A, and the campaign from, or the sales from campaign A had campaign A's products, but also campaign B's products. So now we're just using an attribution model, essentially saying I'm seeing the ads for product A, I'm seeing the ads for product B, but when I click on the ads on product A, I'm actually buying ads in product A, and I'm buying products of campaign A, of the product A, and I'm also adding to cart the products from campaign B. So campaign B says I'm showing ads to people, I'm getting clicks, but I'm not getting any conversions. All we did was just identify the path that people are doing to take when they were the people that are taking when they purchase something. So I just started to reduce spend in the other campaign and say, I'm just going to put that into this campaign. This is obviously the path that people are taking when they go to purchase. The way to find this out in more detail is to hop into analytics. So I'm going to hop into analytics now, and I'll share with you how to identify the products that are actually sold, because you can't necessarily increase AOV. You're not going to move a market by what you're doing in Google Ads. I'm not going to be able to tell people, hey, trust me, buy 2 of this. It's going to be good for you. That doesn't happen. We're going to beat our heads against the wall until we're blue in the face, basically not being able to increase the average order value. So we have to look for ways to identify where is the average order value the highest and lean into that. That will raise your average overall value in the account, which means your ROAS goes up, which means your LTV should also be better, which means you can spend more, which means you can scale more. So forgive me because I don't know which account this is in. So just give me a moment to try to find this analytics account. Hey, I found it. That's cool. That was easy. All right. I think it's this one. Yeah. Okay. So in this account here, you go into your analytics account and you go into conversions, e-commerce, product performance. And inside of conversions, e-commerce, product performance, it will tell you what was sold. This is attribution agnostic. This is channel agnostic. This is just what sold on the website. It's a beautiful, beautiful metric because you get to see everything now. You get to see what is actually selling the best. Here's a fun way to do this. If you look at the original, sorry, I'm not going to use a brand name. If you look at this product here, what we'll see is there's $92,000 in revenue this past week and 4,735 purchases for a quantity of 5,127. Well, what does that mean? The average order quantity is 1.08. That's good. When you see a pillowcase here that has $20,000 in sales and the unique purchases are 560, but the quantity is 1,000, this is 2 purchases on average. Sorry, 2 products per purchase on average. Now, if I was going for AOV, if the average price is 18 and people buy 1.08, or if this is a 19 and 1.96, which one would I start to push more? I'm going to take the one that sells at $40 more often than the one that sells at 19. So our average order value isn't necessarily moving the market. We're not trying to convince people to spend double. We're simply just going to bring more attention to what already is spending double, which is the reason why I'm spending triple on pillowcases rather than everything else. That's why my ROAS is high. So this is working well for products or for clients that have a multitude of products. That's what's interesting. For the people that have a singular product, it's not going to happen from Google Ads. It just will not. Unless you're running a sale, a bundle with a discount, or you're leaning into a upsell offer on the page, or you're doing email or even just SMS follow-up, for example. The average order value on a singular product or a group of products is not going to do well with this model. This is for clients that will have to have at least 20 or 30 SKUs.
I wanted to explain why it can be difficult to manage budgets inside of Lord Google. You'll notice this particular campaign, I'm looking at the brand campaign, and you can see $973 spent Sunday, $3,000 spent Monday,